this is my review of The Sunday Without God, Episode 10, entitled Class 341, or Class 34 Part 1. Yeah, we're narrowing down to the last 3 episodes here. Alright, so let's get into it then. This episode I thought was actually very interesting, because we're in technically, I guess you could consider us being in a new story arc right now, but it's actually still really interesting, and they have 2 episodes to clear lots of things up. Yeah, hold on a second. Alright, sorry about that. So then, let's get into it. Stop boring you any longer. So this episode basically starts out with a burning building, apparently started by Alice. We see him, Dee, and many other students inside of another building. This woman is going to pick a fight with Alice, with Dee trying to break them up, but Alice shows them what he was doing. They look out the window again and see that the building is completely fine with clouds overhead. He says that this is because this is a fake world, and anything damaged in this world will soon return to the way it originally was, including humans. After he says that, he pulls out a gun and starts shooting everyone in the classroom except Dee. Shortly after he does, it seems that everything returned to normal in the room, except for the students coming back to life, as you would have expected because of what he said previously. We then cut to Yuri, Alice, Scar, and Scar's baby, who are arriving at what looks like a ruined town. I asked Alice where Class 34 is at, and after some wandering around and exploring, he responds by saying that this is Class 34 and that this isn't Class 34. I really wish characters would stop beating around the fucking bush like that. This is, and yet it isn't. Make up your fucking mind. Anyways, we learn about it later on in the episode, so. But anyways, though, I looks at a mysterious door and asks what it is. Alice answers that it is a barrier of sorts, and all of Class 3-4 are imprisoned behind it. The 4 of them eventually makes up their mind after I gives another short speech about how she wants to save the world and blah blah blah, and they enter together. When they get inside, they enter a classroom. Then they leave, and it looks like that they're in a completely new town. It's not ruined anymore. It has tons of people walking around in it, all of which seem to know Alice, and it's snowing. When they walk far enough, they come across Dee, who doesn't seem to be a ghost this time, and she greets the crew. She gets everyone ready to stay at Alice's and then leaves. A little while longer, I asks why Dee isn't a ghost and why it's snowing. At that moment, Yuri notices that the calendar is at 15 years in the past, and asks what this place is, but Alice doesn't give him an answer just yet. When they cut to a scene, we cut to a scene with Alice jumping out a dark window and landing on the ground, after which cheering. After he does, Dee also does, and which he's about to catch her in an embrace, but she phases right through him, and both of them are very confused. Now, I don't know. I'm guessing that this was just supposed to show us the first time Dee turned into a ghost, but it was very vague, and it doesn't even explain how exactly it happened. So yeah, kinda sucked right there. We then get a scene with Alice entering a school with Dee and entering a school with Dee and Alice introducing with Dee and I think introducing herself, and everyone admiring her because of how with I introducing herself, and everyone admiring her because of how cute she is. We then get a scene with Yuri asking Scar if she should be taking the baby outside since they don't actually exist anymore, and she says yes, stating that she can't keep him cooped up in the house forever, and that they'll be there for a while. She also says she can't sense any dead in this town. A while back that would have sent her in a panic, but thanks to her baby Yuri and I, she was able to change for the better. The next scene is with I and Dee in class chatting. Afterwards, I asks Alice if this world she created by afterwards I ask Alice if this is a world created by someone's wish, and he says that she's dead on. He explains to her, Yuri and Scar, that this world was created because all of Class 3-4 strongly wished for it. Every year approximately, the world will reset, including the people themselves, and they'll have no memory of it. They also probably wish to forget about it all too, which is why they don't know about what happened. They don't know about the resetting world and whatnot. Alice and Dee are the only ones that actually know the truth for some strange reason that's not explained just yet. He explains that years ago, he and Dee tried to find a way out. This is where we get back to that weird scene with them in the window from before, so it's finally starting to tie in a little bit here. Once they escape, Dee turned into a ghost. Now she loses her physical form whenever she's in the outside world, and Alice has no idea why. He also found out that people with special powers and the dead cannot enter. That's why this town consists only of living people. He's also tried affecting this world from the outside, which is why he murdered these students from the beginning, or from the inside, which is why he murdered students at the beginning of the episode, but it didn't work either. Everything just eventually ended up repairing itself, with the people included. He also explains that he looks 16 right now, but he stayed that way for 14 years, so he's really 30. He concludes by saying that he also has one enemy in this world, and that enemy would happen to be Dee herself. And that sums up what happened in this episode. Quite the cliffhanger ending right there. What the fuck does he mean by that, you suppose? That Dee is his only enemy in the world? Or is it, is it one enemy in the world? I don't know, but that's quite the cliffhanger right there, if I do say so myself. Alright, so let's get into the review then. There's not a whole lot to say that I haven't said before, because one thing I do have to definitely say is that the quality is, for the most part, is pretty consistent. There wasn't one episode that I said was absolutely perfect, but that was just the one episode, and other than that, the quality's been pretty consistent. You know, the animation's really good, the music's pretty, like, really good at some points and pretty decent at other points. It's never a point when it's actually bad. Alright, and the plot's moving steadily along. The only thing that's not really consistent is the pacing, because at times it'll move at a snail's pace, at times it'll move really fast, and at times it'll move at a reasonable speed. So if there's one thing I can say is that the pacing is never really consistent, and in this episode I have to say it moves along pretty fast. Yeah, this episode moved really fast. A bit too fast, if I do say so myself. Alright, so yeah, that's really only the only major complaint that I have, you know, other than that frickin' cliffhanger. Oh my god. Also, I really hope that it explains later on exactly how Dee turned into a human or a ghost, because that's just boggling my mind how the fuck it happened. It's like, is that like a, I mean, at first I would say, you know, maybe it's a curse of anyone escaping, but Atlas didn't change, and he escaped too, so that can't be it, you know. So I just don't know. I don't. So yeah. Overall rating for this episode, I'll give it a really good. It was a really good episode. A few minor hiccups here and there, but overall it was still a really good episode. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, anyways, overall, hope you enjoyed this review, guys. See, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.